Welcome to Behind the Veil. Now, here is your transformational coach, Tammy Hawk.
So I like to start every call off with just kind of letting you know my intention, which is to take you as far as I can on your healing journey as possible in this little itty bit of time, and to hopefully give you some direction in where to go from here. Does that sound
Okay.
fair?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, as far as your intention, if I could give one thing to you on this call that would make the biggest difference in your life right now, what would that be?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I think most of it is just kind of, I don't know, a different perspective, I guess, than what I typically understand or see as far as relationships go.
Okay. What is it kind of helps to put it this way. What emotion would you like to have more of?
I think the emotion that I would like to have more of would be like a feeling of worthiness and empowerment.
Love that. Worthy and empowered. Yes. If I could impart that to you on this call, that would be very satisfying for both of us. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. I should just let you know too, some of my methods and my processes might not resonate with you, as in it might sound weird or funny. So, because I'm working with your subconscious mind. So, whenever thoughts pop in of like, if I'm start to take you through a process, if you have thoughts that pop in of like, oh, this is weird. What is this doing? What the heck? I want you to just sort of kind of tag that as like, oh, that's my mind, and kind of sink back into it, because really I'm using your subconscious is just really utilizing your imagination to access parts of you that you don't have conscious awareness of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't freak you out. Sometimes people are like, what does that mean? But just know,
Not at all.
okay, good. Okay, good.
I'm a certified hypnotist, so I
Oh,
totally understand that whole.
you know the drill. Okay, Ashley. Now I have your number. Okay. That's something on my chin. Perfect. Okay. So I'm not going to teach you anything all that new, but I am going we're going to go to some very deep places if you're good with that.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So let's just start by give me a little background of your adult relationships, right? Especially in the romance department. If you could kind of break that down for me, any patterns or, yes, go ahead.
So there's definitely patterns. I'm a very empathetic type of person. And so I tend to attract people that are narcissistic. They're broken themselves, but in different ways. A lot, they're usually very angry. They're substance abuse dependent people. They're narcissistic. They tend to be very selfish. They are ones that are typically not willing to accept boundaries that I put in place for myself. And so then I end up not setting boundaries, and I end up just being quiet. So I overextend myself and self-sabotage a lot to try and, keep things good for the other person. And I know that I do that, but I also have a really hard time not doing that, because that's where any kind of feeling of value comes from, is from seeing other people happy and succeeding and getting what they want.
Where did that pattern come from?
I am not entirely sure. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with like a childhood thing. So my parents divorced when I was really little. Um, and my mom was always in and out of relationships, and most of the men that she were with were abusive. They didn't meet her needs, so she had to, step up to the plate and be basically a single parent, even though she did have, a partner, that she would still have to take on the role of raising her three kids pretty much on her own, work a lot, just be a really, really super independent woman who didn't really get anything back in return, but was always putting herself out there.
That
Um,
sounds familiar.
yeah. And on my dad's side, um, in that household, it was kind of like they put on a front like they were this super happy Hallmark family and everything was great and everything was perfect. But then behind closed doors, there wasn't a whole lot of affection or anything like that was displayed. My dad went to, I don't have a lot of memories with my dad other than, watching him leave for work in the morning, coming home and him kind of doing his own stuff out in the yard, and my stepmom, you know, being the homemaker in the house and doing that kind of thing. But I didn't get to see a lot of interaction between the two of them or affection between the two of them. And then growing up, I was compared a lot to their children that they had together. So it always felt like their kids were, more successful. They were more attractive. They were smarter. They were better at everything. So I didn't feel like I really fit in with that family at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Now as adults, they've divorced, and I seem to get along with both of them better now and feel more accepted by both of them than what I did when I was growing up. Um, but there's still that people pleasing. I always felt like I was trying so hard to meet their expectations and could not meet them. And at my mom's house, I was the baby that never really did anything wrong. I was, always very favored. I was the good kid. And that gets thrown in my face a lot by, my older sister, the one that I have left. The other one passed away almost 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But so, my oldest sister I have left throws that around a lot about how my mom favors me, and, I'm the good kid and I'm the better kid and all of this. And I don't know,
Okay.
there's a lot of people pleasing and like having to not really be able to be myself growing up because I felt like I had to just adapt to two entirely different worlds all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's go into this. Okay. So I'm gonna have you close your eyes for this. I want you to make your spine as straight as you can.
Okay.
Is your camera able to be like hands free? Your
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
It's a laptop. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And I want you to think about your dad. I want you to think about the emotions that you feel from your dad. What are those emotions? Name the first 5 that pop up as quickly as possible.
There's resentment there for sure. But there's a lot of happiness and
Okay,
like sweet.
if we go back to little you,
Hmm.
what do you feel from your dad? Little you. What do you feel
Loneliness,
from your dad? Loneliness. Okay.
mhm.
Loneliness, resentment, what else?
um, Unacceptance.
Unacceptance. Got it. What else?
There's love there.
I want you to think back to the childhood as you described that he would, when you were over at his house, he would come home, do stuff around the house. And you said there wasn't much interaction with you, not a lot of memories there. So pull from that.
It's a feeling of betrayal there.
Betrayal. And one more.
There's a feeling of need.
Need. Got it. Those are perfect. Okay, now we're going to hop forward into I want you to pick out your most toxic relationship. Okay, I want you to think there on your most toxic relationship. And I want you to describe to me how you felt in the worst parts of that toxic relationship.
Oh, that's a hard one. I haven't had a lot of relationships.
Just pick one that was the most
Say,
significant. Just pick one, and I want you to go into it and I want you to pick out a particularly negative event that happened with this person. It doesn't have to be catastrophic, doesn't have to be a huge event. It is just the time where you felt the worst in that relationship with that person. So I want you to just go ahead and be at the event. Okay. And I want you to be almost like a third party. And I want you to just notice what is happening. I want you to see you. I want you to see him. And I want you to recognize and really kind of soak up all the details. I want you to explain to me what is happening. Where are you at? How old are you? Describe it to me.
so it was Christmas. I'd been with this person for, at that time, oh my goodness, I'd say about 12 years or so. And this was a year where, like all the rest of the years, I managed to somehow pull Christmas together for the family, make sure that everybody had, gifts under the tree, that everybody, felt like they were thought of. And I had thought for sure that on this particular year, I had been thought of because my mother had continually reminded him that Christmas was coming and was willing to help him be able to give me something in return because I had not ever gotten that. And then instead, everybody, I gave everybody their gifts, gave him his gift. He was happy with his. And then there was, again, nothing sitting under the tree for me. He made a comment and said he had to run to the store, and he went and bought a pair of pajama pants that were on clearance from the dollar store, left the tag on them, so I knew that he had only spent $2 on these pajama pants, and came home and gave those to me. And I pretended like I was thrilled and happy, and instead I went in the bathroom and cried for about hours on end. That was my realization that I really did not matter to him, that I was not thought about, and that was the way that it was just always going to be.
I do not matter to him. What else are you believing in this moment?
Um, just that I'm not worth the effort. I didn't feel like I was worth the effort.
I'm not the effort. So I'm not worth the effort. I do not matter to him. What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That if I ever want or need anything, I'm going to have to provide that for myself. No one else is going to do that for me.
No one else will provide for me. What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That I'm more of a giver than I am a taker.
What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That my purpose is to provide for others and not myself.
Okay. I want you to connect with yourself as you're in that bathroom crying. Okay. And I want you to notice that there is a bubble all around you. And first impression, what is the color of that bubble?
Blue.
Blue. Wonderful. I want you to go ahead and be in that blue bubble with yourself at that time. And I want you to recognize that as you go into it, there is an image, a picture that is reflecting out from that blue bubble. And what's on this picture is actually the first time you experienced this emotion. And I want you to connect to this picture as it gets more and more clear. And I don't want you to second guess the image that comes up, because whatever image is coming up is just perfect. So I want you to allow that image to get clearer and clearer and clearer, remembering that this is the first experience you had with this emotion. Let me know once that image is clear enough for you to define.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to now take your consciousness, your focus, and I want you to go into that image. I want you to go ahead and put yourself in that image. Explain to me, how old are you?
About 4-ish, I would say.
Or are you alone or someone with you?
I'm alone
Where are you?
in my bedroom closet.
What's happening in your bedroom closet?
I'm just sitting up against the wall,
And what are you doing?
sitting there,
How are you feeling?
very, very sad
What are you sad about?
that I'm alone,
What are you believing about yourself in this moment?
that I'm always going to be alone.
You're always going to be alone?
Yep.
What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That I shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be there. What else are you believing in this moment about yourself?
That I'm not loved.
I'm not loved.
Yeah.
What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That people don't care unless I'm doing something for them or they're getting something from me.
People don't care about
About my well-being.
about your well-being. What else are you believing about yourself in this moment?
That I have to provide for myself.
I
That
have to provide for myself. What do you have to provide to yourself?
everything, all the emotional support I have to provide. I have to meet my own physical and emotional and spiritual needs myself, because nobody else is going to help me with that. Nobody else is going to be able to provide any of that for me.
Who did you want to provide that emotional support for you?
I don't know anybody.
Name your top 3.
My mom, my dad, and my stepmom.
Your mom, your dad, and your stepmom. I want you to notice that around your 4-year-old self, sitting there in the closet, is that blue bubble. And I want you to go ahead and be in that blue bubble. I want you to go into that blue bubble with your 4-year-old self. And I want you to feel everything that she is feeling. I want you to allow her to feel these feelings through you. I want you to tell her that you are willing and able to take on those emotions for her so she can let them go. And I want you to see it almost as though you are threading the needle, you are moving through that blue bubble. Because as you move through it and as you feel it fully, you'll notice that it begins to dissolve and resolve and completely transmute. In fact, it completely dissolves each and every molecule of that blue as you move through it. So I want you to feel it. And I don't want you to push those emotions down. I want you to allow them to come up and out, knowing that they've been sitting in there the whole time because you've not allowed them to be felt by you fully. And as you feel them, you'll notice that they dissolve, they resolve, and they disintegrate with each breath that you take and each beat of your heart, allowing the blue to dissolve, allowing for that little girl to be relieved of all these emotions as you take them on for her. In fact, I want you to scoop her up in your arms. Don't hold back your emotion. If it wants to come up and out, let it. That's how we transmute it. I want you to scoop her up in your arms, and I want you to hold her. And I want you to run your fingers through her hair. And I want you to tell her how brilliant and special that she is. I want you to tell her that she is so worthy, so special, and so wonderful that you came all the way back from the future to be with her in this moment. Let the emotions come up. This is how we dissolve it. Allowing the emotions to move through you allows this little girl to be freed from the pain she's been holding on to for a very long time. Let them come up. Let them go. She gets to feel these emotions now from this new place. I want you to let her know that she's not alone, that she could never be alone, that you have come all the way back for her to show her that she could never be alone. I want you to tell her that she's right where she needs to be, that she's loved and adored, that she is protected and taken care of, that she's completely divine, that there's every single thing about her is absolutely wonderful and unique to her. Is there anything else she needs to hear from you?
That I'm sorry.
Tell her what you're sorry for.
That I ignored her.
Yeah. What else do you want to tell her?
That I need her.
Yeah. What else?
That I want to know her.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to be with me all the time.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That she gives me strength.
Mm-hmm.
And that I love her.
Mm-hmm. What else does she need to hear from you right now?
That we're a team together.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't leave her.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That she and I are great.
What does she need from you right here in this moment?
To know that she's safe.
Mm-hmm. Does she believe you when you tell her that she's safe?
I don't think so.
Ask her what it will take for her to believe you.
It was for me to keep showing up.
Mm-hmm. Can you come up with some sort of call that she can give you to let you know that she needs you? Some form of communication that the two of you can have that way she can know that you will hear her when she calls and you will respond when she's calling to you. Can you come up with some form of communication for that so that she can believe you?
Yeah. But it's not a word.
Okay, what is it?
Stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hug her. Hold her tight. Let her feel from you all the love that you have for her. Let her feel it so deeply, so deeply. Is there anything else she wants to tell you?
That she loves me.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That she forgives me.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That she can be my teacher if I listen.
Beautiful. Can you come up with a form of communication where she gets to teach you in the moment, in those moments where you need it, she gets to teach you? I want you to come up with some sort of signal that the two of you can have so that your communication can be fluent, can be ongoing, can be natural, can be easy. I want you to come up with whatever form of communication that feels the best for both of you that you could have all the time. You got that?
I think so.
Okay. Now, what color is that bubble around her now?
Purple.
It's purple. Beautiful. And does that purple feel good to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the expression on her face?
It's calm.
Calm. Beautiful. Now, I want you to let her know that she has that purple bubble. And I want you to let her know that as long as she has that purple bubble, she is safe and loved, not alone, but surrounded by this peaceful, loving, healing presence. I want you to let her know that anytime that she needs that support, all she has to do is connect to that color purple, and she'll feel all those emotions connect to it. And when that feels good to you, I want you to go ahead and give her one last hug goodbye, just for now. There you go. I want you to let her know that you will come back any time she needs you. All she has to do is sound that little purple alarm or the blue alarm. All she has to do is call on you, and you will drop everything to come back to be with her. That she is your number one priority. That she gets to be who gets your time first and foremost. Now, we're going to take a little hop. We're going to hop into the next room. And in this next room is where your mom, your dad, and your stepmom are. So I want you to be in that room with your mom, your stepmom, and your dad. And as you look at each and every one of them, I want you to give them each a message. You're going to let them know one by one what you need from them. And we're going to start with your dad. You're going to speak on behalf of that little 4-year-old self that was sitting in that closet. You're going to speak on behalf of her. So let's start with your dad. I want you to look at your dad in the eyes, and I want you to tell him everything that little 4-year-old girl desperately needed him to know, with no judgment. Dad?
Change his presence.
Mm-hmm.
She needed to know that he loved her, and she needed to know that it was okay for her to be who she was, that she didn't have to pretend to be more.
Mm-hmm.
She needed him to ask about her day. She needed him to spend time with her and enjoy that time.
What else?
And she needed him to accept that she was a girl and not a boy.
Mm-hmm. What else?
But she needed him to hug her.
What else?
And she needed him to be okay with letting the rest of the family see her for who she was and to be happy about who she was.
Is there anything else that you want to tell your dad?
That I love him and I forgive him.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to tell him?
that I'm glad he's in my life.
Do you want to give him a hug?
Yeah.
Now we're going to turn towards your mom. And I want you to speak on behalf of that 4-year-old little girl to your mom. What does 4-year-old Ashley want her mom to know?
That I respect her, but I needed her to respect herself.
Mm-hmm.
That I needed her to love and accept herself.
Keep going. Everything you want to say to your mom.
I needed her to not be so angry with the world and to learn how to forgive people that have hurt her.
Mm-hmm. What else do you want to tell her on behalf of your 4-year-old self?
And I love the time that we got to spend together, even though she was busy.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to hug her?
Yeah.
Now I want you to turn your attention and your focus to your stepmom. On behalf of your 4-year-old self, what do you want to say to your stepmom?
And I wish that I would have been good enough in her eyes.
What else?
And that she would have believed me when the school guidance counselor and the teachers and the family and friends would tell her that they thought that I was really sad and depressed. I wish she would have believed me that I really was feeling like that, instead of thinking that I was just trying to get attention.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That even though her rules were really, really strict, I appreciate them anyway.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That she wouldn't have picked on me and made fun of me about the goofy habits that I had.
Anything else you want to tell her?
Just that I value her in my life. And I love and forgive her too.
Beautiful. Do you want to give her a hug?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give her a hug. Now I want you to picture your mom, your stepmom, and your dad. I want you to go ahead and cover them in that purple bubble filled with peace and joy and love and all the good things. I want you to leave all three of them with these healing, beautiful energies. And then once it feels good and you see the expressions on their face and they look happy and everything's been released, I want you to go ahead and pop up out of that room. And I want you to move about 30 feet above that room and look down and see all three of them standing in that room with their purple bubbles. And I want you to go ahead and make your way back to the present. That's right. I want you to make your way all the way back to the present moment, all the way back to you sitting in that chair right there, right now. And as you're making your way back, I want you to look down and notice that all the old structures and pathways are falling away, breaking away, shattering, completely dissolving, and being replaced by these beautiful, new, loving, joyful structures. Strong, happy, joyful new structures. And as the old ones crumble and dissolve, all the way back to the present moment. That's right. I want you to notice all the way back that you're looking down and seeing all the old structures falling away, breaking away, dissolving, and resolving. And I want you to notice these new, beautiful structures that feel so good 10 years from now, 5 years from now. And I want you to go ahead and hover right above you in that chair right here, right now, sitting there in that room. And I want you to look down, see you, and I want you to go ahead and make your way down. And as you're making your way down, I want you to see your body, the little moon roof on the top of your head, opening up to receiving your spirit. And I want you to drop down through the top of your head, reintegrating into your body, down to your shoulders, your heart center, down to your hips, allowing this new pathway and all this new energy to come and align to your body right here, right now, moving all the way down to your knees and your toes, completely re-energizing your body, completely reforming all the cells and molecules of your body. See it moving through your bloodstream to each and every organ, muscle, tissue, DNA, all the way down to your epigenetics, realigning you to this new, beautiful place with all these new pathways. That's right. I want you to feel it going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper on a cellular level, allowing for the new, beautiful, wonderful purple energy to fill your being. And I want you to see that purple energy make a ball around you. So you're completely encapsulated by this healing, beautiful, loving, joyful energy. It feels peaceful and calming. That's right. Taking a deep breath into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, batting your eyes open when you feel ready. Welcome back. How do you feel?
That's kind of intense.
Yeah. Remember how I told you I wanted to take you as far into your healing process as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hence the intensity. But other than the intensity, how do you feel?
I feel good. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Any other words?
I don't know. I feel kind of tired.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know why? You moved a lot of energy out of you, a lot of old, stuck, stale emotions. And I want to say you did really, really good. Yeah, you did really good. I know it's intense, but it's of the highest service to you and that little girl that has been holding on to this pain this whole time. That's been stuck within you because, like those Russian dolls, it's like think about every age you've ever been and all the pain that you've carried from 4 years old all the way up into now. All that old pain you're still holding on to. So, my goal was to get as much of it out as possible. And in fact, that's a major detox. So you're going to need to drink a lot of water today.
Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of water. I know it feels heavy and intense, but I'm telling you, you did a really big work today.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I hope you feel that. Did you see the connection to how I had you pull up the feelings within the male relationships and how that was directed towards dad? And then I took you back to the first memory. So it all goes back there.
Yeah.
And that's where you get to heal is that little girl. She's the one that needs you a lot right now. And as you heal her, you're going to have to have very different tastes in men because you're going to realize that the reason why you made yourself so small in these relationships is because you didn't feel like you were worthy of having everything that you wanted. And the way that you get to teach yourself that you are very freaking worthy and you will allow for nothing less than the best for you, the only way to do that is by going back and healing that little girl inside. Right. I took you on one really big step, but it was a first step. And if you were interested in, taking it any further, you could totally let me know. No attachment either way on my end, but I would highly advise you to do something to sort of release some of that pain because you're hanging on to a lot of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And you said that you didn't have much dating experience or relationship experience, but you said 12 years.
Yeah. With him, yeah, we were together for like 22 years.
Wow. And that's not a lot of experience?
Well, not varying experience.
Oh, that's what you meant by it. Well, I think that's a lot of experience. It's just not the experience that you probably wanted so much, right? Yeah. Well,
I mean, he's not like he wasn't abusive. We didn't even ever argue. It was just it never felt like he really cared too much. For me, I was just kind of somebody to support him and his emotional needs.
did you get some clarity on that now as why that was okay for you for all those years?
Yeah.
Yeah. The clarity is what I want you to have more than anything, because the awareness of why we are the way that we are, it always goes back to those first 5 years. Your entire personality was formed by age 8. So those first 5 years is where I really work with my clients first, because who you are today is because of that little girl in the closet. So I want her to be so connected to you that you get to meet her needs on a daily basis, and don't put her in any relationship where she's not being treasured and loved and adored. Okay? Because that's you. And you're worthy of having every single thing that you want. And I would love, if you want to leave feedback or a review, I would love that, to put on our podcast platforms. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, I hope that we have some, I'd love to hear how you're doing, in the upcoming future, see how this has helped you, and maybe do some journaling and really process this, today.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Ashley. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for letting me see into your soul. It's beautiful. I go on the journey with you. I feel all of it. I'm I'm there as a witnesser within the room when we go back to those places. So it's always, I feel so honored to be that you let me be in the room, even though you didn't know I was in there. Okay. Have a good day. And cry if
Thank
you
you.
need to. Remember, crying is very good at releasing emotion. So when it comes up, you let it rip. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, Miss Ashley.
Bye. Thanks.
Mhm.